All right. So, too bad. Something else that I forgot we were working with her. So, um, either the electric company is back doing something on the other side of the street, or we've got a door-to-door salesman wandering around banging on doors, which means they may or may not come to our house. And if they do, sorry, Kay's gonna go ballistic. Not much I can do about that. Anyway. Too bad. Something else then. Do you have those drinks that make you start as tree bark? In case their torches come near me again? In fact, I still do. Give me one moment. I forgot we were in the middle of a conversation with somebody and I had to stop quickly because the electric company came by and said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to need to shut down your electricity." Just briefly, but we are. Surprise! So she wants a frosted lagoon or a frosted snow. We're going to go with a frosted lagoon for her. For them, I guess, is what we're looking for. And this one does fire resistance, right? So because they're very worried about fire resistance. There we go. One frosted lagoon coming up. A liquid tree bark just for you. Oh, delicious. I feel I could devour any torch now. Thank you, innkeeper. What woke you up from your slumber, anyhow? The night sky fell into my dirt hut. It burned my favorite weeping willow to bits. I am replanting it into many small sniffling willows. They are feasting upon the ashes of the stars that tried to extinguish them. It's a powerful nutrient. Sounds tasty. After the trees and the winds and the pill bugs calmed down, I had planned to go back to sleep. And all the calamity made me awfully tired. But then I saw this creature standing between the tree lines, staring at me with glowing eyes, like it wanted to consume me. So you said hello? So I said hello. Turns out it was scared, not hungry. Who was it? A young lichen. He was sent my way by his niece and the little Fable. I miss Fable. They're usually here. Where are they?
If I had to guess, probably pet sitting a sheep fish and helping out whoever needs it.
Ah, they're so sweet. They sent the lichen to me for a cure. I once spoke of an ancient recipe I discovered that I thought might cure the affliction.
Can it?
No, it was just a recipe for a really good tea.
Let me guess. Ginger?
Yes! He was very distraught that I couldn't help him. Didn't even want any tea. I tried to cheer him up by offering him some coupons for my new spa, but he didn't want those either. His fur could have used a wash.
I didn't know you opened a spa.
It's no. I wanted to share my flowers and mud and pools with everybody, so we can all look beautiful together.
That sounds wonderful, Baya.
I agree. Can I leave some of my coupons here?
Sure. Why not?
Thank you. Please hand them out to all your customers.
I will happily share this fantastic offer with them. You could also just come here more often and hand them out yourself.
But there's no one else here. Except the jackdaw. Do you want a coupon, little creature? I will leave one in your nest.
No one's here because it's almost closing time, Baya. You have to come by earlier during the day, or earlier in the evening, or during events.
But there will be people here.
Yes, I believe that's the point.
Too scary. I shall go now. Don't forget to hand out my coupons.
Will do. Well, she did say it was almost closing time, so I'm assuming, yep. Closing time it is. Still am not reading that letter. I have a feeling that's a very important key to this whole mess. Ah, I see you're back. Hey, innkeeper. Hello. Been a while since I've seen you around. A whole week to be exact. And you already miss me. A little. Cute. I got my hands on a job all the way over in Daria. Seemed like something relatively easy, well paid. Or like something too good to be true? Not this time. Apparently the farmer just wanted it to be done quickly. So she offered a higher than average rate. Sounds like easy money. Yeah, I wish. You know, I could use a drink first. Something that'll loosen my tongue. I feel like this job drained me of all my social energy. Only if I get to hear the rest of the story. Sounds like a good deal to me. Okie doke. You want something with high charisma. So 1,000 winds would be good. A sunny breeze. A spoken heart. So a spoken heart, 1,000 winds, or a sunny breeze. Let's go with spoken heart for now. I guess. Let's say just do a spoken heart then. So. There we go. Good enough. Let's hope this suits your tastes. Your drinks never disappoint. Glad to hear. I can definitely feel my charm coming back to me. I made you a drink. Now it's your turn. Tell me about your latest job. Fine. A deal's a deal, I guess. Told you the client's a farmer, right? She has a large flock of two-headed sheep. Apparently that darn starfall damaged the barn they somehow managed to break out of, and they somehow managed to break out of their enclosure. Didn't think they were that clever, honestly. Must be the two brains. Probably. Anyways, they got out right before their shearing appointment. And of course, the farmer needed to get them back in time, especially considering the rumors surrounding Daria at the moment. Seems to be a dangerous place nowadays. Apparently an unusual amount of cattle have been going missing for the last few weeks. So locals have been keeping a closer eye on their locks and fences. Of course, the farmer wanted her sheep to be safe, so she hired someone to bring her animals back. That someone being you. Obviously. I thought to myself, I'm a monster hunter. Handling animals is basically my job. I'd say a monster hunter is rather known for hunting instead of handling. That was exactly the issue. Do you know how stubborn two-headed sheep are? Let me guess, they're twice as stubborn as one-headed sheep? You got it. They're impossible to get moving, impossible to startle. One head might be eating, but the other one is always watching you. But you did it, right? I suspect you wouldn't be here if you hadn't finished the job. You're absolutely correct. I was at my wit's end. Imagine having fought hundreds, if not thousands of beasts, and some sheep are the one enemy you can't win against. Ugh. That sounds like an incredibly humbling experience. It was. Trust me. But luckily I got some help. Another adventurer saw me struggling and offered her assistance and knowledge. Or should I say a retired adventurer. Oh? Yeah, she was very insistent on that label. Some kind of astral finfolk. Must have lost her arm a while ago. Oh no! Back to the sheep. She told me there's apparently one thing that gets their full attention. Got any guesses on what that magical tool might be? Magical amaranth grass? I don't know. I have no... Oh, hey! Clovers! Morning dew clovers, to be precise. They go absolutely feral for 'em. A few will make 'em follow every single one of your commands. But someone with your experience should know that, innkeeper. Do you two know each other? Barely. Keep your secrets then, oh so mysterious innkeeper. I wanted to buy her a drink after she helped me out back there. Didn't expect you two to be best friends, honestly. Best friends! I think you got that one wrong, Jade. I'd never befriend someone like her. I have taste. Oh, we're enemies. Fun. Well, that was unnecessarily rude of you, Una. You didn't even consider my feelings. Consider me sorry, innkeeper. Apology accepted. Speaking of taste, what about your drinks? I know you've always liked experimenting with potions and other suspicious liquids. Looks like you finally made it, huh? Indeed. I think I got the hang of it. Yeah. I think I got the hang of it. Then what are you waiting for? Your old rival is waiting for a drink. Preferably one that will restore my energy. Those sheep made my old bones all wobbly, and I don't like feeling so weak. Gotcha. Let's see what that old magic has to offer. Don't worry. She might not look it, but her drinks are actually really good. I bet. I'll just take that as a compliment, I suppose. Okay. So, she wants something to restore her energy and make her feel strong. So, this gives you the qualities of a sailor, a lot of strength, a dash of defense, a shot of charisma, and the ability to know fear. Perfect well-rounder. Okay. Or perfect combination of defense and domination. Picture of aroma and igneous. Served with fiery hot or ice cold, depending on the kind of fight you're looking for. No. Okay. So it's one of these two that she's looking for. I'm going to go with Sailor's Courage because it also gives her a little, what is it? a little dexterity, which to me says this says more it'll give her energy. Right? This'll do. So, we want a little of that, a little of that, and a lot of that. There, 1 sailor's courage coming up. 1 sailor's courage. Besides, it goes with her whole nautical thing. Oh, wow! Impressed. Yeah, don't get cocky now. You don't have to be shy. You can just admit that I've improved. So, Una, Jay told me you're retired now. Had enough of adventuring business? Absolutely. I don't want to have anything to do with that anymore. I've completed enough quests for at least 2 lifetimes. And yet you've decided to help Jade. Ever had to handle a 2-headed sheep? Not yet. Lucky you. Lucky indeed. I just couldn't watch us struggle with those stubborn beasts any longer. But this was the one-time exception. Did the farmer pay accordingly after your morning dew clover's magic trick? Oh, absolutely. She was so happy she gratefully paid both of us. That's good to hear. She even tipped us with some gems she supposedly found in one of her fields. But I'm a Medaya. I don't have any use for stones like those. And since I'm retired, I couldn't care less about material riches. So we figured we'd give them to you instead. But I wouldn't tell that pretentious blonde dragon priestess if I were you. Feels like a blasphemous gift. Mail's running a little late today, but the mailman's here. Oh, divine gems. A little blasphemous indeed. I think I know just the right way to use them. Thank you. Don't mention it. No, like really, don't mention it. Now that we're done here, I can finally go back to my crocheting for the rest of my life. Don't get this hook. Didn't get this hook put in for nothing. Of course, I also occasionally gotta rip some youngsters off while playing cards. I haven't lost a game in at least 4 decades. That's remarkable. Or impossible for someone who's only playing fair. I think your lucky streak will end with me today. I've also never lost a game in at least a decade. Are you challenging me to a duel? Absolutely. And whoever loses has to pay for the next round of drinks. That's the spirit. I like you, bounty hunter, but don't come crying to me after I annihilate you. You wish. Sounds like they're both cheaters. Eeny, meeny, chilly, beanie, I don't really care. You're worried about me. Cute. I just know for a fact that Una's a master at cheating. I doubt that that's changed. So you're saying you've lost against her? More than once, yes. Pathetic. Hey! You talking about me? Listen, Innkeep, if your opponent is obviously cheating like she was, you can't beat them fair and square. Yeah, not entirely wrong. You gotta beat them at cheating. Now, watch how a real master does it. Okay. Oh, hey, you're back and you brought a friend. G'day! I cannot do Australian. That's going to be interesting. I have returned, Innkeeper! Welcome back, Miss Anwar, and welcome to the very obviously supposed to be Australian guy that I am not going to be able to do an Australian accent for. This brave adventurer's name is Claymore. Claymore. Really? Claymore? Alright. Nope, we're just gonna roll with it. He offered unexpected support during my quest. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much on behalf of, yeah, the world? Yeah, of course, the world, Mr. Clay. Yes, of course, the world, Mr. Clay. Oh, I'm sorry, that was me. Hey, you don't need the whole Mr. thing. It's just Clay. Is that alright? Just Clay's alright with me, mate. Otherwise, it sounds so formal. Like people talking to one of those graph people. I told you, I cannot do Australian. I lose Australian so easily. Like, some days I get it, a lot of days I lose it. Oh, you want to be one of those, Clay. Oh, you want to be one of those? Clay it is then. Can I offer you both a drink in exchange for the story of how you two met? Ah, that would be a right fine trade. Right, Tia? I think I would welcome it as well. Then what can I get you? Clay, please go ahead. Oh my! You've got a lot of stuff on the menu. How about one of those drinks with ingredients? You look strong. How about something for those? How about something extra for those muscles? Aye, that sounds nice. Let's go with that. 1 minute. So, you want strength, yes? So, again, that's a sailor's courage or a southern brawler. Let's go with a southern brawler for this guy. They gave me gems of some sort, right? Oh yeah, it's right here. Yeah, okay. We'll give it a shot. Shh, don't tell her there's a special gem in there. Try this. Think it might knock your socks off. Aye, this tastes strong and magic-y, but my socks are still on. Still, I love it. I'll have to remember this one for next time. What's it called? Don't worry, I'll remember it for you. Thank you. Now, Miss Anwar, What would you like? I need some of that liquid vigilance. Even in here, it's important to stay on guard. I put my mouse on your nose. Sorry. Wouldn't this be the right time to relax? There is no such time. All right. Then I shall aid you in your divine mission of not falling asleep standing. All right, you want... Okay, so you want either the Frosty Lagoon or the first snow. So this offers UV protection. Let's go with first snow for her. Yeah, that'll work. Wrong one. This one. No, we need, whoops, sorry. And then I need a little more swift. Okay, there we go. Forgot I needed swift up to a level 2. Some liquid vigilance diluted with some delicious secret ingredients. Enjoy! I could do with something less diluted. But you're right, it's delicious. Happy to hear that. I guess I gave her the wrong one. Hi, do we get to tell the story now? Yeah, he's going very Irish. I told you I can't really hold Australian as much as I should. I can do hers like really easy. She's just like basically Valley Girl with a bit more attitude. But like I can't really hold Australian very well. I can do Irish pretty good, or Scottish, I guess, pretty good. But like I can't do Australian very well. You think I should start with the seashells? No, I think some exposition is in order first. Really? As you already know, Innkeeper, I plan to start my investigation right here in Sunneth, specifically at the local Gaia Temple. So I've been told. Mostly about that wobbling ooze. Yes. That was certainly something. Unfortunately, besides their fascinating personal secrets, they had nothing of value to share with me. But fortunately, thanks to your rumors, I was not entirely without a lead. The wizard's prophecy led me to Dalwell, or should I say the Abandoned Isle, or Fairweather. The name changes depending on who you ask. Did not have that many names. I always just called it Kelpie Island. Why? Because it's shaped like one. Probably the smartest approach. Kelpie Island or Fairweather, its name means very little to me. Its local settlement of Fae was much more reverent. They built everything into the giant sequoia that holds their portal to Avalon. Their portal is in the tree. Yes, right in its center. They call it the horizon tree. It's beautiful. The Fae themselves were moderately helpful. It was difficult to get them to focus on the severity of the situation, and I was pretty sure they were preparing some sort of morbid ritual with the acorns that they were stirring up between rose bushes in asymmetrical shapes. Oh, I thought these were art projects. Common misconception. Sounds more like they were preparing to charge them with astral moonlight. For what? If you freeze them, they make for good ice cubes. Do you participate in such practices? Not at the moment. I'm just not gonna question that. Eventually, I got them to sit still long enough to ask them about any strange occurrences around their settlement. Did they understand your definition of strange? After some explanation, they told me about how just recently an astral humpback whale had rampaged through one of their nearby scouting camps, just 2 days before the stars fell. They said it seemed like it was running from something and that it was full of seething and fury. They also claimed it to be a good sign because it promised adventure. Seems they weren't wrong. Why, she's right. It did lead us on an adventure. But I don't know if they'd hoped it'd wipe out the entire sky. And no one would hope for that. Well, someone clearly did. They weren't wrong about it being a sign of a change of pace. That's all I'm saying. The exact definition is subject to personal convictions. It certainly was a sign of something being awry, and I was determined to get to the bottom of it. So naturally, I made my way to nearby Caprice Beach and prepared a celestial summoning ritual under the young astral moon. I moved my mouse again, and now things won't work proper. For the humpback whale, I suppose? What else would I be summoning? I thought maybe you wanted to ask Cassiopeia for her input. Are you out of your mind? The Realm Keepers have sworn a divine oath of neutrality that prevents them from directly interfering with simple world of us mortals. The full might of their powers could disrupt the delicate balance of their cosmic design. Right. Sorry. Slipped my mind. You're forgiven. I was preparing the ritual, readying myself to confront the troublemaker. I suddenly found myself being interrupted by a strange request. That was me. I asked her if she needed any more seashells. Did she? I did, actually. Pairing dragonhead Pterions and flaming limpet shells can heighten the dual aspect of the celestial twins, therefore making the connection to the astral sea more stable. Obviously. Sure. I hadn't managed to find all the limpet shell. And one happened to be among his offerings. I honestly just hoped she was decorating the beach and that she could do with more color. You weren't wrong in a way. Sadly, the shells burned up during the ritual. Singed his hands too. Just a little. Fortunately, I possess spectacular healing capabilities. Fortunate indeed. Were you collecting seashells for beach decorating or for your own ritual, Clay? Oh, I was collecting them for my friends. I'm just taking him full Irish at this point. I can do that one. This time of year, Kelpie Island is full of all kinds of sparkling floating animals from the astral sea. And they love munching on seashells. Do you encounter these creatures a lot? I try to. They're very nice. Clay can talk to animals. Gaia's blessings rest upon him. Fantastic! It is. Though I'm not always sure they like talking to me. They tend to disappear sooner or later. Sometimes they come back, but often they don't. I think maybe I accidentally say things that upset them without realizing it, and they think I mean to hurt them. I hate it when that happens. You mean they just disappear, like they were never there? Yes. Like they moved to a different, quieter beach. Or like they returned to the astral sea. I feel like they would tell me if they went back home. Not necessarily. Many astral creatures can traverse the plains at will, but they don't always have control over when they return. On many occasions, the astral currents pull them back home before they are ready. And once you're swept up in them, each subsequent journey out becomes more and more difficult. Or so I've been told. I would guess your friends either went home when you weren't there or got pulled back before they had a chance to say goodbye. So, you're saying the sea swallowed them? Not quite. It just beckoned them home through a celestial hug of sorts. Ah, so that means I could just visit them in the astral sea? That would be an incredible undertaking. Traveling between planes is quite hazardous. Is it? But echoes from the primordial sea and my family has lived here for quite a while, I think. They must have gotten here somehow. They say it was much simpler to traverse between planes once. But for a long time, it's been almost impossible without a complicated and dangerous rituals. Until recently, the astral sea was the only possible way to pass through the barriers. And accessing it requires meticulous planning, not to mention the sea tends to come with more risks than rewards. Even your Astrian friends who can choose to leave their home plane on a whim get pulled back by the currents eventually. Imagine what would happen if you were unprepared, if you went in unprepared. Well, but the Fae on Kelpie Island aren't from Gaia either. And they told me they haven't lived here for very long. Since the 5 interplanar portals opened up, the interplanar travel has become a lot more accessible again. At least when it comes to dream planes. Is anybody else having trouble following this conversation? Or is it just me? But even the astral and primordial seas, not to mention are finally open to us again after all these years. It is a true miracle to witness in our lifetimes. So the portals have always been there? I didn't know that. Who put them there? Well, that is a very good question. And one that would blow the scope of this conversation beyond its bounds, I would think. You still have to tell me how you summoned that whale. You're right, we're getting off track. As Clay and I talked, he told me about his fascinating friendships with the astral creatures and his ability to speak with animals as if they share a language. So you asked him for help? Well, he offered his aid. I certainly could have handled it on my own, but you didn't have to. Right. That, obviously. Thank you very much, Clay. Anytime. So I summoned it. The ritual worked exceptionally well, and it appeared out of the sky in a wave of concerning darkness. Stars used to accompany them. I mean, there was one star. There was. The whale was even bigger than I'd anticipated, almost as tall as the horizon tree. And in its stomach rested a giant sun, the only star of the night sky whose light had not been extinguished, nestled right in its belly. Sounds lovely. It was, in a way. The star wasn't the thing to worry about, though. The whale didn't look at all happy about being summoned. Instead, it looked like a wounded animal that was one loud noise away from lashing out. And it looked sick. Its translucent skin was gray, like it was frozen with the coldness of the highest mountains or the deepest depths. Its eyes were pale, almost blind, with no warmth within them. I thought for a brief second, we must fight this beast before it consumes us and everything in its path. But when I looked over at Clay, I saw a deep understanding in his eyes, like he wasn't seeing a monster, but a friend. So I stayed quiet, knowing that whatever he knew outweighed my fear. You knew what it needed, Clay? Oh, sorry. Pressed the wrong button. Not completely. But I knew that look in its eye. That feeling when you're so scared you get angry, when you want to fight because you're terrified, you won't be able to flee. So I kneeled to show it that I didn't mean any harm, and I let out my last conch shell and I held out my last conch shell in my hands. It took a moment to overcome the instinct to mistrust, but then it picked up the shell gently and ate it. I saw the conch shell freeze as it was swallowed. It looked painful. Wanting to comfort the whale, I reached out and carefully put my hands against its cheek. I wanted to show it wasn't alone. I'm sure it needed that. It did. It was so sad it cried tears of golden dust. Its tears turned to ice before they even hit the ground. It was at that moment I realized its body had been cursed with a potent frostbite. I knew it didn't trust me yet, so I did what I previously would not have thought possible. Threw a hand on Clay's shoulder and the magic of your drink I was able to briefly transfer my magic into clay, allowing him to cure it of its disease. He kissed it on the forehead and the ice burned away, freeing it into the endless chill, freeing it of the endless chill. It was quite sweet, actually. That's one lucky whale. And one useful effect of that infusion. It's not that... Is that not usually possible? I mean... Inspiration is a fickle thing. Such magic is deeply personal and differs from person to person. I always enjoy seeing how others imagine support to look like. Tia's support was very helpful. I'd hope so. Once it was free of its pain, the whale was ready to talk to us. I asked what had happened to it, and it told me about fighting some sort of evil creature on 2 legs. A creature on 2 legs? So humanoid then. We assume. It turns out whales don't care much about our appearances. It cared more about the things being thrown at it. What a mean way to approach a whale. Apparently it swallowed some kind of stone. It could only remember its black and white color, and that it tasted horrible. But it thought I have a strong digestive thing. It's nothing to worry about. Digestive thing? Digestive tract? Digestive system? Rookie mistake. The 2-legged monster just wouldn't stop attacking it, so it fled as quickly as it could, trying to find its way home. It felt really bad about destroying the camp. I get why. The worst part about being angry is seeing the wreckage you leave behind. Tia, do you ever get angry? No, I'm the embodiment of calmness and self-discipline. Where I come from, they call that repression. Huh. Luckily, its anger subdued it. Its anger subsided when it found its way back. It thought it was finally safe, but suddenly the freezing cold began. I don't mind the cold much. I'm from the Highlands, and we got a lot of snow in the winter. But the kind of cold it was describing sounded awful. Painful and inescapable. Like it was freezing from the inside out. The potent frostbite I mentioned, it seems a curse took hold and slowly spread to its entire body. It tried to keep itself warm by feeding on solar crabs and cosmic squid, but that didn't help much. It just kept getting more scared and angrier and colder. Until everything in its brain was freezing over. It couldn't think of anything other than the cold. So in its depression, it ate the hottest thing it could find. A star? Yeah, a star. A star. A giant one. At that. It looked deceptively small contained in its belly. But apparently it's one of the biggest ones in the night sky had to offer. The East Star. Okay then. It ate Pharos? The guiding star of the endless seas? It did. And it helped. It kept the frostbite at bay, even if it didn't eradicate it. But as you can imagine, such a massive star disappearing did not have the most desirable effect on the astral sea's delicate balance of gravity. I can imagine that. The whale was very confused about what had happened. But it said that the stars around it had suddenly started to fall and spin out of place. They crashed into each other, causing more and more destruction with each passing moment. It didn't understand everything it described. I don't understand everything it described, but it sounded bad. To label it as bad would be quite the understatement. The falling stars ripped holes in Cassiopeia's wings. To think that just one hungry creature could break the entire balance of the universe. It was hurt and scared. It should have endured instead of hurting others. It was alone. It didn't know what would happen. It didn't. I'm sure it tried its best. Well, I'm glad you two were there to help. Indeed. I don't want to imagine the additional chaos it could have caused. Alright, hang on, I gotta readjust. I don't care about the could-haves. I just care that we were there, that we were able to help. Did you also manage to free it of the star in its stomach? No. The frostbite may be gone, but that star is a part of it now. It has become the first of a new kind of sun humpback whale. And probably the last one too, as all other stars in the astral seas have been snuffed out. We will never be able to see the night sky again, and in turn, the whale must forever live with its guilt nestled in its stomach. You're right, some things are forever changed now. It's kind of the point of disasters. But perhaps the star doesn't stand for shame, but the pride of its survival. We shouldn't be sad that most are gone, but happy that one managed to make it through. Besides, we may have lost the night sky's starry companions, but it managed to gain 2 new friends. Even the worst of situations can lead to a light sometimes. I like that. You should never be sad about finding new friends. Speaking of friends, on the way back we ran into this traveling souvenir shop. I bought this friendship bracelet for Tia, and I brought friendship bracelets for Tia and I with this little whale charm on them. But she didn't want to wear them just yet, so I'm waiting until she's ready. That's very nice of you, right, Tia? I'm just... They're hazards for fights, and could get caught in things. Sure. I'm looking forward to seeing how they look with your armor. Ugh. Tia also found something for you at the souvenir shop. She said it reminded her of your tavern. And now that I've seen it in person, I agree. Now I'm curious, what is it? Okie dokie. Oh, that's a very poetic mosaic. The shopkeeper told us a little bit about it. Supposedly, this piece of art represents a new beginning after a hard-fought battle. Kind of like the rise of the sun humpback whale. It's very fitting. Thank you, Tia. So, you glad Clay was there to help? I suppose I am. You're? Really? You're surprisingly competent. Perhaps one might even say I could not have done this entirely without you. Don't push your luck, though. I'm just saying. If one was to be extreme about it, I think someone like you could do anything alone if you put your mind to it. But that doesn't mean you should have to. I'm always happier when doing difficult things if I have help from other people. Well said, Clay. Stellar teamwork, you two. Keep it up. Will do. Much more importantly, clearly our quest was not successful. What are you talking about? You cured the sun humpback whale, you found out why the stars fell, you even made new friends. What more could you want? We still haven't the slightest idea who caused all this. An angry humanoid figure? And that is who exactly? Well, we can rule out you and me, and the innkeeper. We can rule out you. We can rule out you and me. We can rule out you and me. Ouch! No hard feelings. I believe you're innocent, but sometimes evil hides in plain sight. One must not be led astray. I understand. Paranoia is a hard habit to break. Clearly, someone orchestrated this. It seems too random and methodical to be an accidental side effect. I must find out what hides in the darkness. If something like this happens again, it could end in calamity, the likes of which we've never seen before. Don't worry too much about it, girlie. This is just kind of how oblivions are around here. I wouldn't call this just another oblivion. How often have you seen the stars fall from the sky? 0 times. I was asleep when it happened, and now that it's over, there go my chances of ever witnessing a supreme meteor shower. You should not wish to witness such horrors. Some horrors are fun to look at. Listen, love, when I was your age, I used to worry about stuff like this all the time. This weirdo over here did too. We all did at one time or another. But I know from experience that making such a fuss about it won't get you anywhere. These bite-sized calamities are part of the natural order of things. From chaos to balance to chaos and back to balance, everything just switches around in a never-ending cycle. Sure, it's good to keep an eye out, but you don't have to give yourself an aneurysm over it. Just pick up a quest if it worries you and follow the natural flow of the universe. That way, if you're lucky, you'll end up retired like me. Such a leisurely attitude only leads to failure. someone's always gonna save the world in the end. And that someone is going to be me. Oh, the youth. Anyway, old enemy got another drink for me. I'm running dry over here. Anytime, Una. Still running low on energy? How about another strong one? Hey, you got it. I do like the strong ones. You do know me so well. You want another sailor's courage? That'll work. We need a little bit of that and a lot of bit of this. There we go. One sailor's courage coming up. Something strong for the most strong-headed lady I know. There, weird way to admit you've lost every argument against me. But this drink is splendid, I'll give you that. See, with one of these, your worries will be washed away with flavor. Good or bad, depends on the day. I find your apathy borders on tragedy. And I find your hero complex unsustainable. Remember, kiddo, they don't build those statues for folks who are alive. Who cares about statues? My purpose is my purpose, and I don't care who immortalizes me. And no one's purpose is to die, girl. Life is much more meaningful than that. Anyway, my purpose is winning at cards right now. Good luck with your delusions. Yeah, I apologize on her behalf. It's fine. Dear, are you dying? No. She was purely speaking in the hypothetical. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds like it could damage your armor. But, you know, maybe we should listen to her advice at least a little bit. My granny always says with age comes the priceless wisdom of mistakes. I think your grandma's advice would be much more helpful than whatever a failed hero has to say. You think retirement is failure? One's post should never be abandoned. If you can still serve this world, you should. Oh, sweetie, wait till you hit your 50s, okay? Then talk to me about whether or not you want to retire. I'm just saying. Wait until you hit your 50s, 60s, maybe 70s, then revisit that little theory. Not sure if that's bleak or inspiring. I'd say naive. I wouldn't say bleak or inspiring. I'd say naive. I'd say colored with the naivete of youth, which, not always a bad thing, just youthful. It's what happens when you're young. You think like you have some things in your head when you're young that you grow up and realize, oh, I had that wrong. Oh, I had that really wrong. And things change. 'cause you grow up. But anyway, the latter, obvi. I pressed the wrong button again. She was right about one thing, though. The past is full of terrible disasters that were prevented. Which means that this one, too, could have been attempted before, if not very successfully. Knowledge of something so vile must be scarce and well guarded, maybe even abandoned. I've never come across anything like this anywhere in the aperture, I'm going to call it aperture, in the Aperture Library. Granted, the Aperture Library's only been standing for a little over 2 decades, no? Its library can't be that vast. Many of the older books were relocated to the new stronghold. But I do believe we don't currently harbor the knowledge I seek. For that, other adventures, other avenues must be explored. What are you considering? We could ask everyone we come across until we find someone who knows something. Good idea, but that would take far too long. I think we should look for the Everbloom archives. Is that a book club? An ancient one. Everbloom was one of the great 7 Maidenham archives, of the Gaian one, to be specific. Legend has it there used to be one on each plane, even Turat and the Plane of the Dead. They were once filled with all the knowledge of the cosmos and grew in size every day thanks to the fearless archivist. But they fell into an unknown foe and have been lost to time ever since. I believe one of them could hold the answers we seek. Innkeeper, do you perhaps know where to find this archive? Nope. Nah, not much of a librarian, unfortunately. Disappointing. But you could keep an eye out for it, right? You could ask all the scholarly people that pass through here, eh? Yeah, of course I can do that. Perhaps you can start by asking that bounty hunter once she's done gambling all her money away. Maybe you could talk to me. Fine. Have it your way. You could ask her yourself. I would rather not. I'll take that terrible task off your hands then. Wonderful. You wouldn't need more than a day to take care of this, right? Yeah, I could do with a little more time. Nonsense. We don't have more time. I need your full commitment on this, innkeeper. This is very short notice, and as are disasters typically, hence the vigilance. I shall return to a fully prepared quest tomorrow morning. Got it? Okay, sure. Yep, I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, you should rest. Don't be ridiculous. I have things to do, people to help, prayers to consult. Una was right. A good night's sleep would do wonders for you. I could even offer you some coupons to a beautiful swamp spa. Fine. I'll take 1 or 2. Though they won't be put to much use. but it does sound nice. If I rest now, who will this world have faith in? I shall see you tomorrow. And maybe sneak out to that spot. I'm just saying. It's always nice to see burnout happening in real time. Ah, don't worry. I'll go with her and make her some soup. Soup always helps me when I have a headache, and it looks like she has a big one. Do you want some soup as well? Sure. I'll bring some by tomorrow. Do you have any allergies? No, thank you, Clay. Anytime. Then the recipe will be a surprise. Have a superb day. I'll take some of those coupons too. Wonderful. See if you can't convince her to go to the spa. It's lovely. Talking through everything really helped. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. I hope you held on to those seashells. Catching up with some astral friends might make you feel a little better. I pressed the wrong button again. Actually, I was thinking I could use the shells to make some friendship bracelets for Tia and I want to carve them into stars. I think that sometimes you have to make something beautiful out of things that hurt you. Otherwise, you're left with anger that has nowhere to go. Do you like being angry? Not really. Me neither. But we all get angry sometimes. It's not the most fun, but it's important. Never getting angry doesn't solve anything either. True. Oh, never getting angry doesn't solve anything either. True. It just makes you smaller and smaller until people no longer see you as someone they need to think about. At least they're not scared of you. Anger doesn't make you any more of a monster than silence makes you a saint. I pressed space, I know I pressed space. Maybe I pressed V? Be a whole person, Clay, and don't be scared of who that is. I'll try, Innkeeper. Thank you. I hope you find a way back to yourself, too. Thank you, Clay. Me too. Hey, Jade, got a question for you. Apparently. Oh, you're back. Cheerio. Top of the evening to you. Welcome to my tavern. Oh, what do my magical eyes see? New faces, new acquaintances. With whom do I have the pleasure today? No way! A speaking skeleton! Haven't seen one of those in a long while. Hello there! How incredibly rude of me to leave out introductions. My name is Scully. And he's so polite as well! You can call me Una, Mr. Scully. And this one over here is my friend Jade. A fellow Malahide, but with more skin left. Which isn't immensely difficult, I suppose. Glad to make your acquaintance, Una, and her friend Jade. It's a beautiful necklace you have there. Scully, shouldn't you be named after a gemstone? Oh, I guess because he's a, one of her people, he's a gem person. I don't want to intrude on him. Something about it looks really familiar. Don't you think, Scully? I have no clue what you're talking about. It does remind me of Scully in a way. When was the last time you were digging around in graves? Never. I think your senses might be deteriorating with age. Just like your ability to win while cheating. Don't get smart with me now. Australia's waste beast tamer. Oh, the wonders of friendship. You two seem to get along so well. Oh, absolutely. I think I should be going now. I still have work to do. What a coincidence! I happen to want to say the exact same thing, but wouldn't it be rude to leave that distinguished gentleman all by himself? I think one of us should definitely stay a little longer. Is it cool if both of you have bones made of shimmery gemstones? That's true. I haven't seen another Malahide since I woke up. So, anywhere between 2 weeks and 2 centuries ago. See, it's a match already. Would be a shame if the two of you would have become friends. Anyways, see ya. That was quick. Indeed. I guess a woman her age knows what she wants. Oh, you're back. Good morning. It's evening. It's well past sunset, Hex. That might be true, but it is still morning somewhere, I know. You got it, but today I am not here to talk about the primordial magic. Today we are going to celebrate my sister. Greetings, everyone. Come in. Pleased to meet you. My name is Scully. Jade. You can call me X, and this is Grace, my sister. Yes, I know she's taller than me. You can keep it to yourselves. We're here to celebrate, not roast, though some fire might be fun. No fireballs inside Hexagon. If you insist, a fireless party it is then. My bones are aching for a party. I haven't attended one in what feels like an eternity. What's the occasion? My wonderfully talented sister successfully defended her wizard doctoral thesis today. She can now call herself an actual full bona fide Celente witch. It's not that special, honestly. I beg to differ. That's a majorly big deal. Congrats. I must congratulate you as well. Quite an outstanding achievement indeed. You're very sweet. Thank you. I have to agree with everyone. You should be proud of yourself. How about a drink on the house to celebrate your graduation? Hex already told me you're a real magical connoisseur. I would love to taste one of your creations, innkeeper. Perhaps you should be a little bit more... but I don't know what to pick. Could you recommend something to me? Of course. How about a drink for your wits? Your brain must be tired after debating your professors all day. That sounds lovely. My brain could use a little pick-me-up. Coming right up. So you want a brainy, thinky, heady thingy? Yes. Alright, so that would be a peak sunrise. A sunny breeze? Definitely a peak sunrise. Or a sparkling nebula. So this inspires ideas, which might be right up her alley. Okay, we're gonna go with Sparkling Nebula for her. That'll work. She got a thinky brainy head, so... One Sparkling Nebula coming up. My, this is delightful. See? I told you. She definitely knows her craft. Say, innkeeper, do you have a PhD in mixology by any chance? Last time I checked, no. But I do have a lot of experience. Took me a while to get the hang of it. I can tell your drinks are really tasty. I could easily go for another round of debating right now. Is anyone else up for a drink? Nah, not yet. I'm still energized from earlier. Scully, Hex, what about you two? I'm good. I don't want to steal the show today. I would love a refreshment for these old bones, actually. Perhaps something that will bring back the charm of the old days? At your service. So he wants something charming. So that would be 1,000 Winds. Sunny Breeze. Why did I look at the description and immediately see melt your tensions, and my brain just went with, oh, that sounds nice. Oh, that sounds so nice. Or spoken heart. So one of these three, right? He wants to bring back the charm of the old days. Let's go with a spoken heart. It was our original. This one. Okie dokie. And then we want Thinky Brainy Head? No. Okay. We'll just do it without. One. Come on. There it is. 2 and then... Oh! No wonder. I'm putting in the wrong thing. We want Thinky Brainy Head. No, he wanted the crowny thing. Right, no, I'm thinking the other girl. He wants charm. Okay, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm thinky brainy heading. Here you go. Drink for the charming gentleman. Oh, what a lovely taste. Warms my bones inside and out. Should I be worried? Maybe it's an undead thing. Well, theopractically, it would be possible for a magical drink to warm one's bones. You just need... You and your wild dream, Hexy. Maybe leave those experiments to someone with an actual laboratory for once. I'm giving her the wrong voice because I'm confusing her with Jade. Ah, all that talking about studying in degrees brings back so many old memories. I also was a scholar once. I spent my life as an archivist at the Guy in Everbloom Archives, to be precise. Do tell! I need you. Before my, supposedly eternal slumber. I've read a lot about those old archivists, but I've never had a chance to talk to one. Well, obviously, they're all dead. All of them? Yes. The archives were destroyed ages ago. They're mostly a myth now. Oh, well, that's quite sad. A lot of knowledge must have gotten lost with them. I guess so. Sorry. If you wouldn't mind, Scully, I'd love to hear more about them. Maybe we can retrieve some of that old knowledge. It would be my pleasure, but sadly I cannot remember much of my research. Can you remember where the archives were? All those years below ground and without sunlight doesn't seem to have been good for my memory. It's been a few centuries since I've been alive, so I'm not even sure where one would find the archives nowadays. Never mind! Or rather, their ruins. Do you remember the environment surrounding them? Maybe that could help. A little. I believe I might have even been woken up close by. My early memories as a skeleton are quite hazy. During my lifetime, the archives were located deep underground. Gaia's lively blessings were juxtaposed with the hostile and lifeless mountain range. They were surrounded by nothing but rocks and boulders, as sharp as talons and fangs. Even if you made it out of the mountains, you'd be greeted by either dry steppes or a poisonous lake. The liquid in that lake could singe the meat right off your bones. I knew someone that fell into that lake once. I remember it as if it were yesterday. Oh! Well, that sounds like not the best place to build an important archive stronghold. I wouldn't necessarily agree. They say the books and scrolls of the mighty archives contain all the mysteries of our world and the realms that surround us. Of course, you have to protect that knowledge. Would be a shame if someone. Anyways. I think I know the place Scully's talking about. Oh? Sounds like Gravelmac. Sharp rocks next to a poisonous lake. There's no way a location like that exists twice on this plane, at least. Or else I would have heard of it.
Oh, I wouldn't recommend going there. I bet it's exceptionally dusty after all these years.
But I think all those hidden treasures, knowledge left untouched for millennia? That sounds a little too ambitious, even for you. Fine. Your delicate wizard sensibilities wouldn't last a day in Gravelmac anyway. Oh, and you would? Who can say? Anyway, gotta go now. Shared enough secrets of the trade today. Thank you for your reluctant service.
What a lovely young lady. She would have made for a great archivist.
And a grumpy one. I'm sure she's just had a long day. As I have. Honestly, I'm very tired. I'm absolutely sure of that. But you should be proud of yourself nonetheless. You seem like the kind of person to downplay your achievements.
And getting your PhD really isn't something small or insignificant.
It's nothing, really. I spent a lot of time researching. Defending my thesis was a mere formality. Scully and my point still stands, and I'm sure your brother would agree with us. Absolutely. You're very kind. I really appreciate it. How about we call it a day? It's already getting late.
A splendid idea, as I would expect from a witch like yourself.
Seems fair. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, innkeeper. I will, theopractically. Alrighty. So we did get everything we need for the new quest then. No. 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 I think that's what we're looking for. No. 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 Yes. Yes and yes, I think. Yes, alright. So the Lost Mendham Everbloom archives were said to offer infinite knowledge to anyone with unanswered questions. Its ruins lie deep within Gravelmac, a dangerous and lifeless mountain range that even seasoned adventurers try to avoid. If that wasn't enough, the mountains are also said to be haunted by nightmarish bleak stalkers. Let's hope they don't find abandoned archives cozy and inviting. I didn't even mention the Poison Lake. Pretty sure I should have mentioned the Poison Lake. Pretty sure that should have been something I mentioned. I think that might be important. Also, there's a poison lake. Don't jump in the lake. Seems like it's made of acid. Don't jump in it. I feel like that's important. Who are we starting with today? Ah, you two. Good morning. Morning, Clay. Did you sleep well? Aye, I did. It took ages for you to fall asleep. I was too excited thinking about our adventure, but I slept really well. Happy to hear that. Tia, did you sleep? She passed her out. She passed her out right after she had some soup. I hoped that Lady Cassiopeia would send me signs for my divine mission in my dreams. That's all. Did she? I don't remember. Sounds like you slept well then. Anyhow, I see you had time to prepare the quest. Wonderful. Let's get started. Let's take this one step at a time. Clay was looking forward to some soup. Ah, then I hope you like lentils. I left some with your purple friend and told him to keep an eye on it. Well, I hope Andu enjoyed the soup. Thank you for feeding my familiar, Clay. Of course! Did you two enjoy your soup? Very much. Clay's quite the talented chef, even though eating it did make me very tired. I'm probably a little gassy considering it had lentils in it. I'm just saying. And Tia's a very good cooking companion. It took a while to make, so we had a lot of time to talk. It was nice. What did you talk about? Friendship bracelets, I hope? Not quite. Many things. Like, I thought it'd be fun to make her a nice one of those little dolls my granny taught me to make. The ones with the flower dresses and mini axes. I don't have any siblings or cousins, but Tia said she's gonna make little star lamps for my parents' gardens. Is that so? He offered to cook for my family. And I can't offer to cook for his. My cooking skills are unimportant to my destiny. But I thought if I were to visit, it would be appropriate to bring some sort of thank you gift. You know, bring a hostess gift. That's always important. And who wouldn't want some stars in their garden? Especially now. That sounds lovely. Have you ever visited the Highlands before? No, not thus far. Though I've always wanted to. Our snow dragon building competitions are famous. I've never heard of those. Oh, but they do sound intriguing. When I was young, my favorite stories of the Elysians, the Elysian told me, was that of the ever-burning flame. It's said to have been a gift from the Leviathan to the first mortals, along with the bestowed power of elemental manipulation upon his chosen. Yeah, I vaguely recall there being another version where one of the guardians stole the flame from him instead. Blasphemous hearsay is all that is. We should be thankful for the gifts he has given us. I've always wanted to pay my respects to the flame. And it just happens to still be burning in the ancient temple in the Highlands, keeping the hope of Estrella alive for eternity. So I'm looking forward to seeing it in person sooner rather than later, and with a local guide no less. I've never visited it before, but once I went to the Autumn Glow Festival in Valkyra. You can see the temple from there. Ah. So, we got a nice little friendship blooming here, whether she agrees or not.
She agrees. She just doesn't want to admit it.
The Autumn Glow Festival? What's that about? Don't mind me. I'm sure he can tell you all about it another time. Please, let's get back to the quest. Ugh. I have other questions. Fine! One more is all I will allow. Ooh, favorite color, favorite food, or favorite animal? Oh. If his favorite color is purple, that's very serendipitous. Right? Considering she is nothing but purple. I don't think it matters. Favorite animal it is. Why? I'm curious. I'm not sure. I've never been asked that before. You don't know what your favorite animal is? No. Do the dragons count? Not sure if you want to call a dragon an animal. You're right. That would be blasphemous. Would it also be? It would also be correct and funny. Yeah, but their egos wouldn't take it. Tia, we have to figure out what your favorite animal is. Why? It doesn't matter. Of course it does! Getting to know yourself is one of the most wonderful experiences in the universe. I know myself. And yet you don't know what your favorite animal is. But don't worry, we'll figure it out together. Doesn't that sound fun, Tia? It doesn't, actually. But thank you. Of course. Now, the quest. Of course. I should add a quest about finding out what your favorite animal is. Yes! No! Don't worry, Innkeep. I'll put that one together myself. Thank you, Clay. So, I'm assuming you're going together? Unfortunately. I was going to go alone, but Clay insisted on coming along. Why is that unfortunate? It's a very dangerous quest, and he's not practiced in the ways of a divine warrior. Could you imagine if he tried to befriend some bleak stalkers? That'd make for a fun story, I think. If you really want to do this alone, you could just go by yourself. Who would make her soup then? Exactly. That makes sense. Plus, I need to meet those bleak stalkers. I've never seen any before. Can't wait to find out what they like to eat. You. They like to eat you. Only if they're hungry. Could you at least try to be reasonable? I am! Local creatures can be very helpful. I know they can be dangerous too, of course, but it's important to have your guard up so you can defend yourself if they're scared. Generally, if you approach everything non-violently, they'll like you. They'll like you more. Maybe the innkeeper can give us some extra charisma too, so we can convince them to help us out. I could offer you some honey flowers as well. They can be very inspiring, even to bleak stalkers. I think so, at least. I've never tested that one out, actually. We could test it out for you. Nonsense! We need to head into this knowing we have to fight our way through. The name Bleak Stalkers doesn't exactly inspire confidence in their hospitality. Not to mention, there could very well be many more dangerous monsters roaming the abandoned Everbloom. We need to refresh our strength and hope that our mortal weapons will be enough to damage them. If that's of concern, I could offer you some Ceratin. It's infused with divine properties that'll bless your weapon strikes. With a little help from the dragons, no creature could be able to withstand you, no matter how bleak. Ceratin can only be found deep within the Forbidden Valley. How did you even come across that? Oh, you know, I have my ways. No, I don't. Anyway, I think both of your strategies could work. Strength and Ceratin will let you fight your way through any danger that you find. But the right mix of defense, charisma, and honey flowers might offer more of an unconventional solution. Can you help us decide? I don't want to argue. Sure. Defense, charisma, and honey flower it is. Alright. So we want defense, charisma, and honey flower. 3 defense and at least 1 charisma. So it's got to be these guys, right? So both of these guys would meet the requirement. Let's go with this one because she wants to fight as well. So this is more of a well-rounded one. I can't do that one. Okay. I can't do that one if we're gonna do honey flowers. If we're gonna do honey flowers, we can't do that one. Okay. Yep. Alright. There we go. I would love to hear the story about how befriending those bleak stalkers, or at the very least, how their teeth were no match against your armor, or your pecs. Plus, this worked out well for the last time. Plus, this worked out well for you last time, Tia. Let's hope I'll be lucky again. Fine. I trust your judgment, innkeeper. Good. You should. Thanks for all your help, innkeeper. But we should get going now. Indeed. Wait, why are you in such a hurry? Yesterday I met Fable at the farmer's market, and they helped me pick out the right vegetables for the soup. And they invited me to their barbecue on the 31st of Cassiopeia. So we need to make it back in time for that. You can always leave early if it takes too long. And what about you? What about me? You're also coming. I have to work. You also have to eat. Saving the world is bound to make you hungry. And you might even have fun. Who knows? I'll consider it. Let's hurry then. Let's. Innkeeper, you let Fable know we'll be back in time. Can you let Fable know we'll be back in time? I hope so. Of course. I'll let them know as soon as they grace my tavern with their presence again. Oh yeah, Grace should know too. I think she's bringing her famous fortune nuggets. Whoop. Sometimes pressing space brings up the book, sometimes it doesn't. I'll tell her as well. I wish you a successful quest. It shall be so. See you soon! And off they merrily wander. Oh, you're back, are you? Greetings, innkeeper. Hello, Archie. Good to see you again. It's always a delight to be here. It makes me feel like I'm part of something bigger already. Glad to hear that. Speaking of which, were you able to help those farmers out? Oh yes! Talking to Fable truly was inspiring. They were so right. The farmers really had no interest in gold or other riches. Shocking. So instead I helped them with reconstructing their land, barns, houses, with my own 2 hands even. Did you know they're good for swinging something called a hammer? I had never done such. I even got some blisters from it. Me too, but that's because I was handling some hot wire the other day. Look, I was cutting wire with a grinder, and when I went to, snap it, it was a little hotter than I expected. It's a thing. Remnants of my first heroic deed! Very exciting. And painful, actually. Now that I think about it, do you have a recipe for a drink that could help out with this specific situation? I want to be able to help every single farmer with ease. I want to lift the heaviest logs and steel myself for the most stubborn splinters. You're right. A drink like that's still missing from my book. Let me think of something. Oh, thank you dearly. When I was making my way to your tavern, I walked past an astonishing duo of adventurers. Stunning seraph and a massive half-giant. They were so utterly impressive. I aspire to be like them someday. It feels like I'm in a book, like I delved headfirst into one of the stories on my bookshelf. Magic and adventures surrounding me with every step, and unknown lurking dangers in the shadows. Oh, this is all so exciting. But now I'm just daydreaming. Originally, I came here seeking one of your magical drinks. Of course, what would you like? Preferably something that will help me defend myself from devious dangers, like the splinters in my hands. The drink that I had last time did. Well, I presume it did something, but those splinters were a real nuisance. I'll tell you that. I got you, don't worry. You did just give me a new drink idea, right? So... okay, so we'll give you this one then. It's a very well-balanced triangle. Sure. And that goes down to a 2, and this goes to a 3. There we are. Try that one on for size. What do you think? Protection against your arch nemesis, splinters. Here you go. I can already feel my skin getting tougher. Which is amazing considering I'm wearing some delightful leather gloves. Helping people grow calluses is my secret party trick. Oh, helping people grow calluses is my secret party trick. Maybe I should bring my friend here someday. Your drink mixing magic is quite particular, really. Oh, your friend? Is he from Windmore as well? That's correct! I've known him since we were kids. Mostly due to our parents being similar wealth and influence. I think we were kind of chosen to be friends. We decided to write each other letters when he's not here in Zenith. He's actually in kind of a dire situation right now. You see, he's a diplomat, deeply involved in the whole Daria mainland negotiations. Due to him nearly getting kidnapped during his last business trip to Daria, he decided to fire his entire personal security crew. If you ask me, his reaction was a little over the top, but I don't interfere with his decisions, so... Now that he doesn't have any bodyguards, I would like to help him. But honestly, I have no clue what I should do. He definitely doesn't need my money, just like the farmers didn't. He's got more than enough of that as it is. I mean, if you're brave enough, you could volunteer to be his bodyguard. A splendid idea! I like how you think, Innkeeper. But, I don't know if I'd be strong enough even with your magically infused drinks. He might need more protection than I could offer. Probably somebody who's actually trained in security as well. Well, I still do that thing with the quests. Oh, you're right! I could just hang up a quest on your pinboard, could I not? And then some brave adventurer will offer to help us out. My friend means the world to me. I would never forgive myself if something happened to him. So you're looking for bodyguards, for the best bodyguards in Zenith. So he would be the friend he's referring to, right? Absolutely! Well, I already have some folks in mind that are more than qualified to do the job. Let's just hope my quest writing skills are enough to attract just the right people. Do you write a lot? No. Yes. Sometimes. I love to write stories about cunning and courageous adventurers. Somehow, they always manage to get out of the most dreadful situations by cheating death multiple times. But that's... well, writing doesn't really fit the image of a heroic adventurer himself, does it? Why would I dream of other people's journeys if I could just live the tales myself? You've got a fair point. Also, it's always easier to write about things you've experienced firsthand. Also, it's always oh, okay, that was supposed to be me. Well, anyway, absolutely. Oh, I can't wait to see my friend again and help him out. I'll be more than prepared. Fable also offered to teach me how to use a bow. How could I say no to such an enticing offer, getting taught by the Fable of the Ashen Grove themselves? It's more than I could have ever dreamed of. They also mentioned another friend of theirs, an imposing Vulcan lady named Cyrillin. Do you know her by any chance? Lynn? Yeah. Oh, Lynn? Yeah, I know her quite well. She's a regular.
A regular? Oh, innkeeper, you're just full of surprises. This tavern is full of hidden treasures. Apparently, Lady Cyrillin is bored because her newest protege is on a mission and hasn't yet returned. So she'll be joining my training with Fable.
Oh, you're in for a ride.
How thrilling! I nearly can't contain my excitement. But for now, I've got to think of the right words for the job posting.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Assembling quests for patrons is one of my services.
Really? That would be so helpful.
I got you. You have the perfect crew of bodyguards for your friend assembled in no time. Trust me.
Thank you so much. And also, thank you for the drink. Coming here is always a delightful source of inspiration. I'm always happy to help. Until then, innkeeper.
See you next time, adventurer. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, come on in.
This is cute little tavern. I'm not going to lie. Wasn't that convinced from the outside, but the interior is really adorable.
I'm glad. Are you accustomed to more opulent exteriors?
For sure. But I do enjoy the cozy feeling of a simple tavern. You know, it's good being away from the hustle and bustle of the big city sometimes.
I get that. You new in town?
I am. How'd you know?
It's been a while since I last saw Phantasm around here. That's all. I just took a guess.
I see. I came straight from the capital. Just needed a moment to breathe, if you get me.
Oh, I do. That's why I settled here, on the outskirts of Zenith. This town is big enough for me to never run out of work, but small enough to not feel overwhelmed.
Yes, exactly. So, you run this business in Keep?
Correct. Just me, my familiar, and this tavern. Oh, and the regulars that come here, of course.
Of course.
And with whom do I have the pleasure today? Perhaps one of my next regulars?
Who knows? Maybe. The name's Voyage, but you may call me Voy.
Okay. Alright, Voy. Got it. What can I do for you today?
Well, I mean, a drink would be the way to go, I suppose. Wait, don't tell me. You haven't heard of me.
Afraid not. I suppose I should have.
I am the Voy, the famous bard. Ring any bells?
Nope.
Well, I guess you'll have to get to know me then. And what better way to do so than with a fine drink led by the finest innkeeper. Made by, don't know why I said led.
You're a real sweet talker, aren't you?
I guess I am. Yes.
Is there something specific you would like?
No. Surprise me with something that will make me even more irresistible. Like a real Prince Charming. Okie dokie.
You want Prince Charming. Well, he did just ask for charm, so I guess we're going for a spoken heart. Because he asked for straight charm. Right? I don't think we can use that. We can use this. Yep. There we go. One spoken heart coming up. May this drink give you an untwistable silver tongue. Oh, this is good. Nearly as good as my musical talent. I have a feeling that this drink might influence your... Oh, I have a feeling this drink might influence your next performance. Will it boost my charisma even further? You'll have to wait and see. Let's just say you might want to come back afterwards and get another drink. Now you're just teasing me. How about you tell me more about more about you now? Didn't you want me to get to know you better? Hold on tight to your counter, innkeeper, because I'm about to knock your socks off. Ha! Joke's on you! I'm not wearing any. I don't usually wear socks around the house. Bring it on. So, right in front of you is the one and only Voy, traveler of lands, stealer of arts, and the most famous bard in all of Phasia. Not only because of his immaculate talent, but also because of his good looks, and I might add, I'm fairly impressed. Of course you are. Might I ask for an autograph later then? But what brings you here, boy? As I said, I just needed a breath of fresh air. A short break from the big city. Is it hard being famous? Not really, no. Maybe a little bit sometimes. But making music and performing is my job, and I absolutely love it. So it's not a big deal, really. It just makes me cherish the quieter moments. Makes sense to me. Would it be cool if I kept you and your little familiar company for a bit? Absolutely, make yourself at home. Nice. Hello, who are you? Hello there, traveler. What can I get you? Usually it's my role to ask you that, but given the circumstances, I'll humor you. Well, this is my tavern, and it has come a long way. Love the color of the walls. A new coat? It's been a good few years since my last renovation. But yes, I thought it was time to accept some change in my life. Thought so. What's life if not the constant changing of self? How I missed your endless wisdom, Quincy. I can only imagine, innkeeper. You look like you might be in need of a refreshment. How about a drink? Yeah, long journey. Surprise me with something as charismatic as your little establishment, would you? Okie dokie. You want charisma, yes? That would be Sunny Breeze, Spoken Heart, or Sparkling Nut. Let's go with a Sunny Breeze for you. There we go. One Sunny Breeze coming up. Here you go, liquid charisma, my specialty. This tastes magical. Seems like you've improved a good deal since last time. Practice makes perfect after all. Indeed. So, what brings you to this corner of the worlds? Looking for the feathers of a particular little bird. They're said to only reside in this neighborhood. Or continent, rather. What bird? The golden loon. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the golden loon, you say? They're quite beautiful to behold. If I were you, I'd look for them near a big lake. That's where they usually hang out. But only in Phasia. Hence why I came all this way. Oh, the plumage of gold glistens in the lights of day. A traveler's bold. That would be a very poetic way to greet them. Tell that to this stupid song of Vicargild. Okay. They didn't like it. Nah, they don't like anything that isn't mainstream. Like subtext. But that wasn't lyrical works. But isn't that what lyrical works are all about? Pouring your heart and soul into something for others to take in. And only if you push away the layers and reading between the lines will you find the true meaning. Exactly my thinking. It's just that now I'm afraid that they'd laugh at me. Or remember me as the bard without a heart. All because they don't understand. You know, there's nothing wrong with being afraid. Fear can sometimes keep us safe from danger. But something to keep in mind is that fear doesn't stop death. It stops life. Do you enjoy your art? Yeah. And I want others to enjoy it too. I, for one, greatly enjoyed your golden loon haiku. Sure, me too. Oh, innkeeper, thank you. You shouldn't base your value on whether people like what you create or not. There will always be those who don't get it and those who find themselves in it. Do it for people who appreciate your art, but most importantly, do it for yourself.
That's one way to look at it. You know, I imagine all of this so differently. Way easier for sure. Moving from Terragen, the smallest of towns, to the big city, I'd always dreamt of joining the Solvi Guild. And then they promptly rejected me. But I am Voyage, and I don't give up because of things like that. I don't need a guild to get out there and share my music. All I need is me and my Hilgan.
That's right. I've seen many people spend too much time giving attention to those who will never understand them. My 2 cents: live for what you believe in and allow others to make their own decisions. I can read, I promise.
That's what I'm doing.
Good. But unfortunately, I have to leave now. Gotta find those loons before it gets dark. It was nice having you around, Quincy.
Oh, it was nice having you around, Quincy.
Until next time, and don't forget to take care of yourself, Innkeeper. And be safe out there, Voyage.
You too.
Nice guy.
Yep, he's an old friend. Didn't know you do, friends. Perhaps we could be friends too, Innkeeper.
Not yet.
Oh,
maybe one day.
Ah, you're back. Welcome back. Oh. Quick, Innkeep, your strongest drink. This is an emergency.
What happened?
It's absolutely urgent. Relationships are on the line.
Not lives?
Listen, Innkeep, I'll tell you the story, don't worry. But you gotta be a little patient because Baya really needs a drink first. Yes, please.
What do you need? The same as last time?
Oh, that one was really delicious. I'd love to taste it again, please.
Got it. I'll give you something that'll make you feel as sturdy as tree bark again. Okay. So she wants sturdy as tree bark. Right, that was one of these 2 ice ones, right? There's this one now. But she did want the same as last time. What did we give her last time? I don't know. Any of these would work. Let's give her steel tonic. Why not? Sure. Ooh, okay. with this. Yeah. There we go. There we go. One steel tonic. Coming up. There you go. My strongest drink to the rescue.
Oh, thank you. Ugh. Ugh. This is... Ugh. Ugh. Good.
Ah, thanks, the dragons. That pause made me so nervous. I really thought she would mess it up. Thanks for having so much faith in me, Una. You're welcome. But, Baya, are you feeling better now?
Yes. At least a little bit.
Thanks. That's good to hear. Please, fill me in on the situation now. I've never seen you this upset, Baya. And you have to endure the Bloomtide Festival every year.
Alright. So, I have this group of friends. They're girlfriends. We three have been inseparable for at least a few centuries. But now... Ugh.
Very insensitive to ask an emotionally vulnerable and sweet girl what's troubling her, innkeeper. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
That's okay.
How about I tell her what's going on, Baya? So you don't have to strain yourself, hun.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so sweet Baya over here has had a long-lasting group of friends, right? Right. They're a trio, inseparable for at least a few hundred years. And there is an adorable trio, I might add. The swamp monster, the banshee, and the Mari Morgan. Oh yeah, the Mari Morgan, the wrathful spirit that's known to drown men. I've heard she doesn't really differentiate between genders, though. Yeah, that's right. Anyways, the Mari Morgan and the Banshee are a couple. So I figured. Have been for a while. I recall them coming by once or twice. But right now, how should I put it? They're in a bit of a domestic dispute. For some reason, the two have completely stopped talking to each other. They even refuse to show up to Baya's monthly tea parties, insisting that they'll only come if the other isn't invited. Why?
I don't know. It's like they don't like each other anymore. And soon they won't like me either.
It does smell like a breakup. Let's not catastrophize.
I don't want my group of friends, I don't want my friend group to fall apart. People always left me because I scare them. I don't want them to leave me too.
Nah, I'm sure they won't. Say something, innkeeper. Don't worry about it, Baya. I'm sure we can get them to work it out. They've been together so long, they must have already solved numerous arguments. They'll get through this one, too. She's right. They've been through worse.
But what if she's wrong? What if they do break up? What if they really leave me this time? I wish I was I wish there was something I could do to help them.
If I might just add my 2 cents real quick. Oh, I was on the thing and back. That's why I did that. Hi, I'm Voy. That's short for Voyage. You might have heard of me before. I'm pretty famous.
Nope. Doesn't ring any bells, sorry.
Anyway. Bye. That's your name, right?
Uh-huh.
What's keeping you from getting to know other people? Like, you seem really chill.
Well, usually everyone's afraid of me. But the innkeeper has always been nice to me. I trust them. And I've known Una for a while now.
Didn't she, pick endangered flowers from your backyard last time you met?
Yes. The bouquet was really cute.
I know, right? You meet a lot of people when you travel across the lands looking for potential clients in Wake. And honestly, I've seen stranger creatures than her in my years as an adventurer. Baya's also really cute under all that moss and kelp, ain't you, Baya?
Oh, yo, shush.
I mean, you might look a little terrifying, that's true. But you just have to figure out how to get through to people. I'm sure they'd want to be your friends.
I don't know about that. Usually they try to burn me. Luckily, I don't scare easy.
Oh, what a nice metaphor. Might I use that in a new song, if you don't mind? People hurting you over and over again just because they're afraid. X is leaving you, but you always manage to get over them.
It's not a metaphor. Once every few moons, people surround me with torches and pitchforks.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. You don't say, kid. But honestly, I don't know. I know how you feel. Sometimes facing people is terrifying when you feel so different. But there's always something to love about everyone, like my handsome smile or enchanting voice.
Maybe people would enjoy my spa.
You run a spa? That's fantastic.
Yes. You should come visit sometime. Voy, that's just short for voyage.
Mm, just voice is fine.
Do you want to come too, Una?
I'd love to, yeah. There's nothing more soothing for old bones than a nice swamp bath. Do you get a lot of customers?
No. None.
Maybe I can change that. Let me advertise your spot my next performance.
I would love that. Thank you.
No worries, Baya. But let's get back to your girlfriends now. Innkeep, do you know someone that could help them out? This situation's kind of tricky. They might need a mediator. I can absolutely hang up a quest for you if you want.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Of course. Making my patrons happy is part of my job. Now, who's the sweet talker? Now, who's the sweet talker, huh? Mm?
But, now I have to wait, right?
Yes, unfortunately. How about you show us around your spa in the meantime?
It would be my pleasure.
And once we're back, there'll be a solution for you two friends. No pressure. There's a millennium-long relationship on the line. You remember that? Yeah, absolutely no pressure. Thank you. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you.
See you then, Innkeep. Yes, see ya. Oh, I can't wait to feel how smooth my skin is after a mud mask. You think I can take my crochet hook with me? Alrighty. Yes, I'm making a couple of new quests. Alright. So, Mari Morgan and a Banshee are a loving couple most of the time, but their current fight has their best friend Baya very worried. There's a Banshee haunting the local lagoon. And where's the Mari Morgan? I know I had a thing about a Mari Morgan. Here we go. In the riverbanks of the Shiver, Mary hides a Mari Morgan, a wrathful spirit prone to drowning men, women, and everything in between. Mari Morgan, known for her passion for drowning trespassers, and the Banshee, a singer of bone-shattering songs in the Lonesome Lagoon, are two terrifying creatures in love. But because of a mysterious dispute, their relationship is on the line, and their best friend, the Swamp Witch Baya, would do anything to keep her friend group from shattering. Couples counselors sorely needed. Alright, now the other new quest that we needed. I have no idea. I doubt it has anything to do with the guy looking for plum crepes. Or the rhinos. Or Cerulean's greatsword. Daria oh, right. We're looking for somebody to be bodyguards. So Daria seems to be very unsafe at the moment, at least if you're cattle. Maybe? A diplomat fired his entire personal guard and is now looking for new fighters to protect him from the dangers of a business trip. An unusual amount of undead snails. A clash of spinal rhinos collapsed a Colonel Bridge connecting Daria to the mainland, spawning the worst things of all, budget decisions. Okay. So yes, those three? Yes, those three. Alright. Political tensions ensued when the Colonel Bridge connecting Daria to the mainland collapsed, especially because spinal rhinos can't exactly be held responsible. The ambassador tasked with solving this mess is a young noble, and his worried best friend insists he's still in dire need of a new personal guard. especially since the roads are unsafe for travelers lately. If those travelers are cattle, anyways. Okay. Alrighty. Closing time. Um, Give me a quick second. I'm going to give you guys the break video real fast.
You know I'm working on that. Are you trying to help? Thing, it's up to her belly.
Yeah. Seems like she's having a ball.
She loves the deep snow. She absolutely loves the deep snow.
It's like I don't know where to go. I'll just keep running.
I mean, like, she kind of hates it when it's just like, you know, a little bit of snow. But when it's deep like this, oh, she loves it. Did she come back?
No, she's gone.
Alright, I am back mostly. Sorry.
Let's give this one a shot.
Ah, I see you guys are back.
Visa, the detective duo has returned.
Welcome back, Melly and Malachite Jean. I'm calling him Aura now because he's giving you migraines.
No, because of his gloomy aura, of course. Silly.
Well then, Mally, Aura, good to have you back in town. I assume you were able to solve the mystery of the surrounding the missing familiars.
Yes! Oh, with the help of my trusty assistant, I was able to figure it out.
That's remarkable, I have to say. Good thing you went with her, Aura. It was a dangerous mission. Did you encounter a T-Rex? Of course not, but we were nearly burned alive. That's not what I would have expected. You must always expect life to double-cross you. Alright then. Well, I'm glad you both made it back in one piece. But I'm curious, what's the reason behind those vanishing familiars? Do I need to worry about Andu disappearing too?
How about we tell you what happened in Zolford, but only in exchange for 2 free drinks?
I can see you've learned a thing or two on your first big mission.
Or taught me how to be more cunning.
Only the basics. No need to be so humble. You taught her well. What kind of drink would you like today, Melly?
I want something... something that'll polish my investigative and detective skills. A drink that will make me even smarter than I am now, so no mysterious cases like this one will ever be unsolvable for me.
Coming right up. She wants a smarter head one, yes. Okay. So we have a peak sunrise. That one's no good because we need at least 3. Peak sunrise or a sparkling nebula? Yeah, let's go with a peak sunrise for her. That'll work. No, actually, that's only 1. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Got it. Let's see if this will make your brain cells multiply.
Thank you! Let me try. No, this is good. I can already feel it. I'm going to be completely unstoppable.
Oh no.
Oh, yes!
Initially, I wanted to sit this one out, but I might actually need a drink now. It would be my pleasure if it means that I'll get to hear your story. Also, I am longing for another one of your little secrets. Right, we made a deal. Correct, correct. So what'll it be today? Maybe something that will help me counter her verbal attacks now that she's linguistically invincible. So, the usual. Alright, give me a second, I'll be right back. So he wants a high charisma. Or, yeah. I'm guessing this is charisma, right? Yeah. 1,000 Winds could do it. He does like dexterity and defense. That could work. Okay. There we go. You got it, sir. This should make things easier for you. No. I can see it in his face. Is it that bad? Huh? No, silly. He likes it. You can clearly see it in the way his scarf is moving. I see. My deductive skills aren't that bad after all. You think you could teach me a thing or two sometime? Of course! We'll be a trio! The detective, her trusty assistant, and the curious apprentice. I like the sound of that. It's been a while since I've been an apprentice. I don't remember being asked if I wanted to be a part of this. But I couldn't have completed the quest without you. Also, being a detective's trusty assistant is an honorable duty. And I'm glad you came with me. Of course. Couldn't let you walk headfirst into the open maw of a hungry T-Rex. Did you actually encounter a T-Rex in Zoford? No, don't be silly. For a moment, I thought you just shared one of your many secrets with me. Right. Guess I owe you one of those now. My hair isn't actually all black. I know. That's not a secret. I can clearly see the white streak. Anyways. But now, please, I'm dying to know what happened in Zoford. So, thanks to the golden feathers, we made it to Zoford in the blink of an eye. I don't think I've ever felt that fast in my life, actually. It was like he had the zoomies. They help us remain unseen too. Thanks to your drink, we were able to sneak around the city without attracting too much attention. But those ghosts were the clue we needed. I think we found something at the docks, so we made our way there. She was right. In the dead of night, just hours after we left your tavern, we spotted a peculiar dog roaming near the water. We watched as it tried to sneak into a cargo ship. It behaved weird, undog-like. It hid behind some barrels and kept looking left and right before it started to sneak on board. I never seen a dog do that before. It looked like it didn't know how to be a dog. It didn't use its nose, its ears. It was just off. We watched as one of the workers noticed the dog had scared it away, but my investigation senses were tingling. So we started asking around, as detectives do when they want to collect some evidence. A few people said they'd seen some animals with odd behaviors. Most of them thought they had some kind of illness like rabies, or that they were spirits disguised in animal forms sent by a sea witch. So they stayed away in their mind and minded their own business. Not very high-class detective of them, but they made for fine witnesses. Apparently, there's something like a weekly get-together for all the town's familiars. We decided to check it out. And we managed to track down a few of the participating familiars to get more insight. It was a little tricky since none of them wanted to talk to us at first. I think they were a bit wary of strangers. It also seemed to be difficult for familiars to speak to people they don't know. Must have something to do with their magical abilities. But with our combined charm and charisma, Aura and I were finally able to gain the trust of one of them. And they told us something strange. They said all those familiars that went missing seemed to have been in contact with one particular magician. So, of course, we had to pay that wizard a visit, preferably when he wasn't at home. I think that's called burglary. Finding out his address was child's play. Apparently, he's quite popular among the people of Zoford. It just took Aura a little bit of well-executed bribery to find the mage's home. Did you take some notes? I did! Prepare yourself for my next test subject. To be my next test subject, innkeeper. Should I be scared? Maybe. Only a little bit, though. Very well. Your drink really did wonders. We managed to break in without anyone noticing. It was so exciting! We snuck around looking for hidden evidence, maybe a hidden ritualistic chamber or something like that. And did you find one? Sadly, no. But we found his office with the door open. Inside were a lot of books about different kinds of animals and familiars. We figured he just loves animals, or at least needed that knowledge for something else. As any world-class detective would do, I checked his trash can. And did you find anything? Well, nothing that helped solve the case. But I did find something that you'd like between all the shredded paper. Looks like a recipe for a magical drink, just like the ones you serve. Ta-da! That's very useful. That's what I thought. Anyways, Aura and I continued to search for clues. His office also had books about common and uncommon diseases in animals, so we kind of had a connection to the reported cases of rabies. I thought it was a bit of a stretch, not that I could change her mind. That wasn't all we found. Next to his desk in a small cupboard were his diaries. They were full of notes and spells that I didn't understand. Something about transmutational magic. While she studied his diaries, I rummaged through his belongings and scrolls. I had absolutely no clue what any of it meant until I found something of interest. Detailed instructions on how to unbind a familiar from their services. A thought began to manifest itself in my brain. I thought I couldn't quite grasp it, though I couldn't quite grasp it yet. But somehow my instinct told me I had all the information I needed. I just had to stitch everything together. Kind of like what I do when I assemble quests for my patrons. Exactly! But right when I tried getting to it, we heard the front door squeak and creak as someone entered the house. We tried to hide, of course, but we hadn't been quick enough with our investigation. And definitely not subtle either. The whole place looked super chaotic. The wizard immediately knew something was off. And potentially dangerous person on high alert is even more dangerous. So we had to be on guard. Aura hid under the table, but I had other plans. I managed to jump on a bookshelf and wedged myself right on top under the ceiling. So I was hidden, but could still see the whole room. Good call. I watched as the magician barged in, but he wasn't alone. He was accompanied by a lizard, a colorful bird, and a two-headed sheep. Oh, not one of those again. Huh? It's nothing. Just continue. It was so weird. The bird didn't know how to fly, the lizard walked on two legs, and the sheep's two heads always looked in the same direction. As if they didn't know how to be real animals. Just like the dog from the docks. But now we had proof. The weird animals were definitely connected to the wizard. And so if the wizard noticed something, he stopped and as if the wizard noticed something, he stopped and said to the animals, "No, you three get out of here. I don't want you to get in trouble or hurt." I already had my fingers wrapped around the handle of my knife, ready to strike. I'm sure he felt my murderous intent. But it does sound like he cared about those animals. That's what I thought too. As soon as they left the room, I saw him create a ball of flames in his hand. He was ready to strike, and I knew I had to do something. He would have done horrible things to Aura. So I meowed. Like a cat? I pretended to be a cat. And somehow it worked, even though I was wearing clothes. The wizard turned around and saw me on the top bookshelf. His features turned from worried to soft in a millisecond, and he said, "Oh, a little rascal, how'd you get in here? Did I lock you in? You must be terribly scared." And I was scared, but not for the reason he thought. So I just meowed a second time, and as you do when you're pretending to be a cat. And then he said very politely, "Would you please come down here? This room isn't a place for little cats, but I can offer you a cup of milk instead." And that was a very tempting offer. So, as any cat would, I answered, "No, but I would love some chocolate milk." I kind of forgot that cats don't usually speak. Needless to say, his face was priceless. But then his hand started to light up again. I immediately knew she was in danger, so I broke every possible rule of the Thieves Guild taught me and just popped up from underneath the table. That was very brave of you. I didn't know if I'd have been so fearless. Well, I had to. The wizard turned around. He was surprised, maybe even scared, but he was also ready to fire at me. I already saw my life flashing before my eyes. And before I could even think about it, I yelled, "We know you didn't mean any harm. You were just trying to protect those familiars, right?" Apparently, I hit a nerve. He stopped right in his tracks. I took advantage of that moment and tried to explain why we were in his home in the first place. I told him everything about the quest, the familiars, the weird dog. Usually I'm not very good with words, but, well, your drink definitely did what it was supposed to. I don't know how, but I think we managed to de-escalate the situation. He looked panicked before that, as if he was being chased. Maybe he actually expected people to come after him. Hearing all the clues out of the aura's mouth kind of flipped a switch in my brain. I could see the truth right in front of me. Suddenly everything made so much sense. I jumped down from the shelf and began my conclusion. It's clear to me that you, the accused, do not have ill intentions. However, that doesn't make you innocent. You're still involved in the disappearances of some familiars. She was walking back and forth while she gave her speech. Needless to say, the wizard and I were equally confused. You're fond of animals, and as such, also familiars. And while I don't know anything about magic, I have heard the term transmutational before. Who hasn't, honestly? It's a broadly used term. That's right. There was a blatant lie. That right there was a blatant lie. So I, the world's greatest detective, have concluded you are turning familiars into animals, or at least you're making them look like animals. You also were accompanied by some of those turned familiars, and you cared for their safety. That means they are here of their own free will. So by turning them into animals, you did them a favor. They wanted to be transmuted. But now their patrons and other familiars can't reach them anymore. And they're worried that something bad happened to them. And that's why they're here. Case closed. That's pretty impressive. And you figured all that out by yourself? Yep! The magician also was really impressed. I totally hit the nail on the head. I explained again that we were just there to investigate. But it was also necessary for the familiars and their friends and family to talk to each other. The remaining familiars wanted an explanation as well as their former mages. The wizard already felt guilty for doing something behind their backs, of course. Turns out the familiars were unhappy in their dragon-like bodies and much preferred feeling like real animals. But they were afraid of telling their patrons and their familiar friends. So none of their remaining acquaintances knew of what had happened. Of course, they expected the worst. Why else would your friends just leave you alone and disappear without a trace? Yeah. But obviously, none of them wanted to continue on like that, so we helped them set up a meeting for them to talk it out. And they did. All the magicians were very understanding, if a little sad to lose their connections. The other familiars also welcomed them with open arms, even though they were a little confused at first. They needed a while to understand why their friends wanted to be animals. But I think they got it eventually. So, all in all, sounds like a very successful quest. Absolutely! I'm glad you got to uncover the truth. Me too. The magician even decided to give us something in return for helping him. Neither of us have any use for it, so we wanted you to have it. Don't say that makes it sound like it's a bad gift, and it's not. What is it then? It's a ring of beast sorting with a lost familiar inside of it. He found it a while ago, but its patron never showed up. We named it Renu. Melina can't take care of it, and I have my sheepfish, Rufus. But you have Ondu, so you already know how to take care of a mini dragon. Oh, I absolutely do. He might enjoy some company. So, thank you very much. So now we have another little dragon that just hangs out in the back. I need to get back to Rufus now. He gets lonely without me sometimes. Or is it that you get lonely without him? He's my pet. I need to take care of him. Don't worry. I'm sure Fable did a good job. Though it's nice to see how much you care for your pet. He's been my only friend since my parents died a long time ago. Oh. Were they also eaten by zombies? No. They were burned alive. Oh! Oh no. I remember it as if it were yesterday. It was late afternoon and my parents wanted to visit the adjacent village to buy some grain. But they never returned. I wanted to look for them. But when I got to the village, every house, every barn, and every ground, and even the ground was ablaze. I heard yelling, people screaming in pain, pleading for help, and my parents were nowhere to be found. A few of the survivors confirmed they had seen them earlier that day, before the fire. Later I found out the perpetrator was the pretentious son of a noble family. He'd had a disagreement with a farmer over some payments and instead paid a bunch of criminals to set fire to his barn. The fire spread uncontrollably and devoured everything in its path, including innocent lives. Just like it did today. That's awful. I'm sorry, Aura. It's alright. I bottled all my emotions up and combined them into desire. For a family? For revenge. Oh. But that sounds like a lonely desire, though. And you haven't found any friends since then? No. Only the people in the Thieves Guild. The people in the Thieves Guild helped me survive, but they weren't particularly keen on friendship. So I just chose the lonely path that was meant for me. Well, that's not very nice of them. But now you have me. And we're best friends now. And accomplices. And we found our own guild. And we can found our own guild. Like a detectives guild. No. Give us a few more quests and we'll be the most famous detectives in all of Phasia. I'm sure of that. And a good mythical morning to you, innkeeper. This time it's actually still morning. But that doesn't mean it isn't also morning somewhere else in the world as well. Of course not. That's really cute. That's a really cute hat you're wearing. Thanks. Can I try it on sometime? Only if you tell me your name. I'm a fellow master of bribery, I see. But there's nothing more you could possibly teach me. A world-class detective like me doesn't need extra lessons in bribery. So you're a detective? Yes! The best detective in all of Phasia, I might add. I am Melina, by the way, but you can call me Melly. Happy to make your acquaintance, Melly. I am Hexagon, Hex, but you can call me Hex. Like, by your last name? No, Hex as in short for Hexagon, obviously. Yeah. And who's that grim-looking fellow next to you? Oh, him? They took Grouchy. They look grouchy, but they're my world-class assistant. Not by choice. His name's Aura. I'm sure it is, yes. Nice to meet you, Aura. But I think you've gotten enough information out of me. Can I try on your hat now? That's a tricky one. You see this little pendant at the tip of my hat? Uh-huh. It classifies me as a wizard of the primordial sea. A silver one, I might add. One of the Leviathan's most trusted confidants. Oh! All of this knowledge is directly transmitted to anyone with a hat like mine. In particular, silver stars like me have access to information that leaked to the masses would break the order of the world. Oh, wow! But every silver star has to go through extensive mental training. Such amounts of knowledge would drive any mortal without proper training insane. Just tell her she can't wear the hat. It's more honest that way. Oh no! So, I can't let you try on my hat without endangering your life. And I couldn't forgive myself if I were the reason Phasia's best detective went mad. That's very honorable of you. But I, the great detective Melina, have concluded that you, Hexagon Hex, are nothing but a big bad liar. You are a great detective indeed. I honestly thought you were pretty convincing, Hex. I did not. Thank you. Wait! Did you actually believe him? Nope. Not really. I just happen to know a thing or two about the primordial sea. I've read a few books, heard some rumors. You know how it is. And I really doubt Leviathan would share his precious knowledge with a mere mortal. Nothing against you, X. You got me there. I gotta say, you're really convincing. I sure am. Looks like even a great detective like me never stops learning. Honestly, you could have just told me no, though. I would have revealed my name even without promising a magic hat on the line. But it's more fun this way. I think honesty is also a very important skill to master. Whatever you say, detective. But, Hex, what brings you in here today? Nothing really. I was just longing for another one of your drinks. You know, the kind that would flood my head with new ideas. Leave it to me. Silent Owl? Sure, why not? It meets the requirements. Come on. There it is. There we go. And then we want that to a 1. And then we want this to a 3. Yep. 1 silent owl coming up. There you go. This should do the trick. Let's see. Oh, I can already feel it. All the ideas. They're manifesting in my brain. Honestly, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Well, I guess we'll have to find out. Oh, maybe you can show me a magic trick. Just to test your abilities, I mean. Yeah, well, yes, of course I can. I'm glad you asked. You know I'm a master of fire. Oh, then can you also do fireballs? I wouldn't call a fireball a mere magic trick. More like a fully fledged spell. But I can create 10 tiny flames on the top of my fingertips. Like cute little candles. I want to see that. I would advise you to play with fire outside. A lot of my ingredients are very flammable. You'll miss a really big show then. I think somehow I'll manage to survive. Your loss. Ora, are you coming as well? I'm good. Alright, Lone Wolf. You're missing out, though. Certainly. See you later! Have fun! Oh, have fun. Much as I love it, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it here for now. I'm just getting a little tired is all. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it here for now. I will be back tomorrow. I am live every Wednesday to Sunday. Usually somewhere between 10 a.m. or to 1 p.m.-ish Eastern or New York time, whichever is easiest for y'all to Google. I do go live every Wednesday to Sunday, and like I said, I'm getting a little tired, so I am going to leave it here for today. But I hope to see you guys back here tomorrow. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everyone.